folks. I'm coming to you at the front of the video because I forgot to mention something very important in the video itself. And I could put it just in the links, but I just didn't want you to miss an opportunity that I am grateful to be able to extend to you. The folks at Silhouette U, Melissa and Bob, have provided a coupon for me to share with you that will give anyone 50% off the first payment of any of their plans. And they offer just a really splendid range of teaching videos. They also sell certain kinds of booklets on their site and other things. They're just a tremendous resource for crafters. And so I will put that in the links at the end, but I didn't want you to overlook that if you're just coming into the front of the video and deciding, oh, I don't know if I want to watch it right now or not. Or if you're someone who never reads the description. So I've got that in there. I hope that you enjoy the video. It's about doing silk screening with an embroidery hoop, which is actually very easy. I had a particularly challenging time getting this one done. Sometimes, you know, if you're a crafter, you recognize this. No matter what you do, it seems like something goes wrong. You know, you drop a brush in the middle of your painting project right on the project, or you spill a bottle of something across your whole surface. It's just that kind of madness happened with this particular video. So I just hope that despite all the things I had to cut out to make it all make sense and get rid of all those mistakes, I hope it will be fun for you and that you'll learn something new that you can use, or just be amusing to you. You have a great day. Hi, friends. I'm glad to be here with you today. I've got just a very simple little project to show you. It's sort of an introduction to silk screening, and if it's silk screening is something you thought you might like to try, but you didn't want to spend a lot of money or expense just to experiment, this is one way to try it out without putting out a lot of money. What you're going to need is very simple. I've got the information in the description as well, but I'll go ahead and talk you through it. You're going to need some acrylic paint. I'm not going to use this yellow. I have this out here right now, but I will go and get some white. But you're going to need just any kind of acrylic in a little bottle, in a tube, whatever. You'll just have to decide. This is kind of a sort of an Easter, not really, but it's a statement, and it's actually just be hoppy. So this is just a little design I pulled together, just it's just to make this as simple as possible. And but if you have a different design, then go for that. You'll need the acrylic paint. You'll need an embroidery hoop. This one is about 12 inches across, and it will work for this design and will work for others as well. I like the embroidery hoops because you can size up and down fairly cheaply. They have at Michael's, I got this one, which is 12 inches. I got it for $3.48, and it was not on sale, and so I was able to actually apply my coupon toward it. And so I got it even cheaper than that. And I went ahead actually and bought 4 or 5 different big sizes. I've kind of worn out my hoops over time because I enjoy doing this from time to time. And I also like to take it to classes and teach people how to do it. It's an inexpensive way to transport silk screening around. The other thing you're going to need is some screen material. This that I have in here right now is organza. So if I can show you, organza is about $7 a yard these days. It depends on where you're getting it, but this is just it's a shiny fabric with a very close weave, but enough for your silk screen to go through. There are other fabrics that you can use. You can take, what I would suggest is, if If the $6.99 is not off-putting, go ahead and get organza because it's almost a never fail. But you can also use any fabric that's stretchable to some extent. Like you can use nylon pantyhose, for example, but you don't want to use the shiny ones. In that case, they have a different kind of yarn. You'll want to just use old-fashioned pantyhose, which you can get for dirt cheap in Dollar Tree stores or really in Walmart or anywhere. They work really well, especially for this size image or smaller. So there's lots of different screens. You can actually buy some speedball screen that's used to create more professional size screens. You're going to need some type of squeegee, and you can use something like this, which is really is a tile cleaner for your bathroom, but it would work pretty well. You'll see that it's a little off this size, but not by much. And I could very easily just go down the middle and then do a very soft, gentle off to the side to get ink there. You can use a credit card. What you want to avoid is having to scrape down this distance multiple times over and over, because the more you do that, the more the ink gets pressed through and the more that it will pull on the back of your screen, like a pool as in a water pool, you know, it bubbles up underneath there. So you want to have something as wide as you can, but it doesn't have to be a professional squeegee is what I'm trying to say. You're also going to need Mod Podge decoupage. This is just the plain old matte variety, the cheapest that they make, I think. Some people recommend using this dishwasher safe, but I have found that it dries too hard and that it is, of course, it doesn't wash out, which if you want to preserve a screen forever, that's a plus, because it's going to block out what you don't want to do. So that can be helpful, but it's also quite a bit more expensive. And so I think probably what I would recommend is get the old cheap tried and true. And then if that doesn't work for you, or as you go along, if you want to do more of this, then you might want to use the dishwasher safe and bump it up. But if you happen to have the dishwasher safe and nothing else, then fine, jump in and it'll work just fine. Even though it gets hard, that's okay. You'll need a design to trace, and I showed you my little design, and the way that we trace it is we're going to put it underneath, and because the fabric is see-through, you're going to be able to see it well enough to trace. Now I have already put the decoupage on. I'm going to hold this up so hopefully, let's see, can you see? You see this dark edge around here? This is Mod Podge that I've already applied to the outside in the circle to define the circle that I want. And so then I don't have to draw this line anywhere but where I drew it with that pencil just to get it going. I think you can see. I just used a pencil, just a regular pencil like this, and it worked just fine to do that big circle. And so now that's done. I don't have to, that line isn't going to make any difference in terms of the way it prints or anything like that. So my next step, if that makes sense, is I'm going to have to outline the hoppy and the outer edge of the rabbit, and around the tail. I want every place that I want color has to be free of decoupage. So decoupage means that when I put down if I put down yellow paint, it's not going to get in this 2-inch area, except it might get in little stray holes. And I don't mind that. That's a kind of a grungy look, and I kind of purposely do that on some, although I've tried to avoid it here. But I am going to outline around these letters, and I'm going to fill in these letters. I want them to be decoupaged so that they don't get any lettering. color. So they will then show whatever ink or paint color I'm using. So if I use yellow and I leave these, I put decoupage on these, only this circled area is going to get the yellow paint. And the same thing with the bunny. As I fill in the bunny, if I leave him, if I fill him in totally, he will be the color of the underlying fabric, and only the tail will end up getting the color. So I hope that makes sense, and I think it will as I demonstrate it. But what you're going to do is, after we do the little tracing, we're going to put on the decoupage, and then we're going to get out our fabric. And what I've got is, I've got a little canvas pennant. It's a little yard pennant. And so I've already ruined that pennant in the past with a wash of color that didn't go the way I wanted. So I'm going to actually use the pennant now, because I'll just use that as a background as an example. But this could be put on a t-shirt, or it could be put on a tea towel, or just about anything that you want to do. And all you'll need to do is be sure that if it's a two-sided item like a t-shirt, you'll have to put some barrier in between inside the shirt while you put your decoration on the front, so that the ink doesn't go all the way through to the back of the shirt. Okay, so you can use, instead of decoupaging out this big area, you can use masking tape if you like, but it takes a little bit of time, and I find it's easier just to line out what I want to do this part, let it dry while I go about my business doing other things, come back. The little part will not take so long to dry whenever I do that, so I think I can do that while I'm with you, although I may turn off the camera or speed it up because you don't want to watch decoupage medium dry. So let me first, let me go ahead and get, let's get this part going, and then I'll decoupage, show you how to do that, and then we can go on to the next thing. So I'm going to use the Sharpie that I mentioned. I'm not going to use a sharp liner. I'm going to actually use an actual Sharpie. And let me get this. So I've got it lined up where I want it. I've got the paper underneath the pattern, and now I'm just going to go around the outside edges. Let's see, how can I, well, once I show you what I mean, I don't think I'm going to just, let me just draw it around. Okay, hopefully you can see that B, that I'm going to actually fill that in with decoupage medium, so that only the circles in the B letter and everything outside of it will end up getting the color I'm going to fill the screen with. So now let me get it back in space where it needs to go. Okay, that's close enough. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just do this. I'm kind of going outside the edges because I don't want the lettering to be too hard to get my decoupage on. And so decoupage medium, when you put it on to something this thin, goes through to the opposite side. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so I've got a bigger O. And so what I'm going to tell you seems a little odd, but you're actually going to decoupage from the back side of the hoop, not on this inside where I'm drawing this lettering. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. And it seems a little counterintuitive because you think you're going to lay this down then on the fabric, and maybe that will be bumpy, but the fabric is going to be cushiony. And so it's not going to be unusual once we actually get to the process. Okay. Pull that out a little bit. And I want to give him some whiskers that aren't on here, so I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to make them kind of like little carrots. That makes sense. Just for fun. And we have to get his little cottontail. And again, it will not be filled. It will not be filled, so it will get the color over it. So the bunny will be filled in, so the shirt color will show through, but then the color that I put over will color his little cottontail that color. This is part of that whole geometry brain I kid people about all the time that I don't have. So when I even explaining it, I feel like I'm making it more complicated than it actually is. But but anyway, the other thing I strongly recommend that you have available is a whole bunch of baby wipes, because as you're doing this, you have a tendency to get ink on things, and it's just, you need to wipe things up. Decoupage gets scattered somewhere, you know, just stuff like that. So, okay. So I'm going to start with my little letters, and I'm going to fill them in. You won't be able to see this because it's invisible. No, it's just not, it's not a color, it's just white, and it dries clear. So you won't be able to see exactly what I'm doing, but I will hold it up again and make it cast the shadow. So hopefully that will help you to see. Oops, I got a little string there. Don't want that. That's a good thing for a wipe right over there. Okay. I'm not going to worry about that E not looking perfect. This is just silly. So I don't have to worry about it not, that it has a little stringy look to it. That'll be just fine. After I get this all filled in, it takes a little bit to dry. Not real long, but a little bit. And of course I'll cut that out of the video, so you don't have to watch decoupage medium dry. I hope that you all are having a good week. It's been a very distressing time due to the military actions, and I hope that those that you love are not in harm's way. I hope that they're safe someplace, and I sincerely hope all of our servicemen and women remain safe. I know, sadly, we did lose at least 7, but just praying for their families, and hoping this will be something that's very short-lived, and that people that are stranded there will be able to get home. Okay, I'm done with my little brush. I'm going to go ahead and use, oh, wait a minute. Let me go ahead and let me go ahead and leave these blocked just for fun. One thing that you can do if you want to practice this and really get a good sense for how it works is to just use black paint, you know, on a white surface, or use white paint on a black surface, and that will show you very quickly what I'm talking about in terms of how things work in terms of the blocking part. Okay, now I'm going to use this slightly bigger one so I don't have to go so slow. Now we refer to this as the flush part of the screen because it's going to lay flush to the floor, to the picture. And the other side is the surface that we actually put the paint on. While I'm doing this, I want to tell you that it is so very easy to do a silk screen using your Cricut or your Silhouette. And if you have an interest, there are videos already out there. If you would like me to show you, I can. Very easy. It's super simple, and it is the method that I use the most. I used to occasionally do real silk screen, but I didn't like the use of all the chemicals that you then have to wash out, and you have to use chemicals to get the paint out, and I just didn't want to go down that route. I just didn't have the facilities for it, and I didn't want to invest in the facilities for it. So that was, but I have always enjoyed it, and I really do enjoy using stencils that I've essentially made from my Cricut. You basically take a regular, you can buy a little frame that already has, you can buy like a little, it's like $21 at Hobby Lobby to get a screen that's a square, pretty good size, good for any t-shirts except maybe the very largest of the large. And even then you could do a lapel kind, one of those that's just up on your um, chest up high, super easy. So, but you can just use acrylic paints as long as you wash them out right away, or you can, spend a little bit and get some actual silk screen paints, which just go on a little bit smoother, and you don't have as much haste in terms of having to clean your screen. But the vinyl lettering really does the work for you, so it's very easy. I hope you can see the white that has the block out for all of this. And normally what I would do is go back over it again once it dried, just to make sure that it's all blocked. I can hold it up to the light, and I can see that there are some little areas right through there that I want to fill in, but it's you make it as exact as you want in terms of, if you don't want any little specks to come through, then fill it in as best you can multiple times, so it really fills those mesh holes. And if you don't mind a little bit of that sort of grungy homemade look, I don't even want to say homemade look necessarily, it's just different, it'll just be speckly. And I'll show you, because I'm not going to make mine 100% blocked, but you can. And so if that's real important to you to do it so that it's very blocked, you could definitely just let the layer dry, put another layer over it, do another layer, and until you've got it blocked out the way you really want it to be. This is where you can make your own decision. Okay, now I'm going to have to let this dry, and I'm going to run a fan on it and a dryer. The dryer makes it go really fast. I find that not pushing too much on my brush helps to let the paint flow across these holes without knocking the paint right back out of them. That makes sense. So there you should be able to see the white and several of my letters. It has completely bled through. That's normal. And when I put this next layer on, the lettering, it will, because it's building on top of what was already there, it's going to be happier about staying on the surface and not just sinking away. Okay. So sometimes you have to go about it 2 or 3 times just to get it the way you want it. I tried to make this one a fairly small one so that it would not take us a bunch of time. I've reached 300 subscribers, and that's pretty exciting for me. I know that that's not a lot compared to really big crafters, but it means a lot to me with my little channel. I love, I know that some of you, when you subscribe, are also sharing that, and I know that because of the way people show up in my feed, and that's really heartwarming to me. It really makes me feel good that you're taking the time to recommend me to your friends. It just means a lot, and I really appreciate it. I decided a while back I wasn't going to do. In fact, I did a video that I'm not going to do any more craft shows. But I've been rethinking that lately because I wondered if, rather, because I never really sell well because I have such a, I'm not a one person thing. You know, really at craft shows, people sort of glance around the edges and they just want to see whatever is sort of brought them there, and then they don't really notice you if you're not what they're looking for. It's very rare. I always had 2 ladies that always came, and really they liked my booth because it was full of different things that they had not seen before, but they were there looking for Christmas gifts, and my stuff just didn't fit for Christmas gifts. So it was the same outcome, but but it was encouraging that they felt that way. But I was thinking maybe I should think about my going to a little show more as a kind of an advertisement of what I do and an invitation to people to come to see my channel. Maybe that would be, because that's really what I want. Is I want to teach people. So anyway, I've just been thinking about it, and I don't know. I might look at whether or not maybe doing, most of these shows, they like to have someone come and just do demonstrations. So maybe that's the better way, and then I can put up my YouTube sign. If you're someone who knows about this kind of thing, marketing I'm not good at. If you know about something and you think something or other would be a good way for me to go, I would love to hear your thoughts. Okay. It shrinks away. I don't know if you can see this. Let me, I'm showing this. I have this other camera up so I can see what I'm doing, but I realize I'm showing it. It is not filming me. So let me show you that. Shapers. So now you can see it's a little, so you're probably wondering what the heck was she doing showing it up at that edge. I can't see anything. Merciful Pete. But hopefully you can see there's some white showing, and I think you can see, maybe that's a good shot, that there's holes, and so I want to fill those in before before I start putting any ink on this, for Pete's sake. I'm such a goober. Okay, are those filled in? Pretty good. I think those are pretty good, but I think looking at this, I'm wondering if maybe I need to let this set overnight in order to really let it dry and then be able to see the holes. Okay, I'm going to put a little masking tape on this just to hold it steady while I do my pull. You can see this is one that I tried different colors with. And, like I say, this was like number 4 that I did this one. I did a tea towel, didn't work out. I did a, what was the second thing that I did? My screen fabric wasn't behaving. So it was just super bizarre. But I ended up doing, this is like my 5th thing to do. So to try to do this little simple design. Oh my gosh. So here we go. I think this is going to work. I think it's gonna. Okay. This probably isn't centered, but we're just going to do the best we can. Oh my word. So let me see if the consistency of this is even remotely good. It's beautiful. Okay. So here's where we go. We're going to start up here. We want to start our line above where we're actually going to pull so that we cover the whole design. I think that's more than enough paint, but we shall see. So I'm going to use this little thing to bring it down first. I'm going to bring it down here and here. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and use this because I have no faith in this process at this point. I mean, seriously, I do not. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, you really only want to do this once. So I'm sure it's already run, but I'm not getting some coverage where I expect to. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh my word. Oh my word. If this works, it'll be a miracle, people. This is not the way I silk screen. Oh my gosh. It's okay. It's not fantastic. It's not the best silk screen I've ever done, but it's going to show you at least how you do this darn thing. Oh, merciful Pete. Okay, let me lay this out of the way so I don't get ink all over Kingdom Come. I don't know if you can tell, but when on this pool, the way this looks, Let me get it up there. I do not care about these little flickery spots one bit. It doesn't make, I left it like that on purpose. I don't care about these little bits. This is something go in the garden. But I want you to see, do you see that there is a line right there? That's because of me scraping all the different ways. It'll flatten out when it dries. But that's how it looks up close. It's pretty cute. And I'm not sure it was worth 2 days of work to get to this point, but I hope that I can edit all this in a way that you'll enjoy it. It was fun for me to do, to think about doing with you all. This has just been absolutely silly. It's been so crazy. So on that note, I'm just going to thank you for being here. I hope that you will, despite all this madness, like this video if you enjoyed it. I hope that you will share it with friends. And I do hope that if you are not already, that you will subscribe to my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you more than you can imagine. And I am so grateful that you're here on this journey with me. Thank you and have a good evening.